Veritas Files here. Sorry it's taken me a while to do any new videos. This is mainly just kind of an update. There's been a lot of stuff happening in my neck of the woods. A lot of it I really can't say much about, and gosh, I'm struggling to identify really what I can say. I work in law enforcement, and it looks as though I may be forced out of my job in the next 3 to 5 years because they're looking to change and expand in ways that I can't support, given the way that they're going about it. A lot of people will be forced out and will lose their jobs because they've taken a we they siege kind of mentality, or if you're not for us, you're against us kind of way going about this. But they're adding all kinds of things to our plate. They're moving into this phase where they want to add kind of a tactical response team to a situation, a circumstance, in an area of the state where it is almost totally unwarranted, because there are numerous other jurisdictions that have TAC teams that we can use. In fact, our team would spread out over such an area, it would take longer to get them together than it would to just call the adjacent jurisdiction. In any case, the person who's driving this, really there's two, but one person sort of came to power in an odd way. He was just sort of installed instead of brought forward as an actual candidate, and legitimately interviewed and whatnot. Another person who was hired beneath him happens to be a buddy, so it's kind of the good old boys networks back in town, cronyism. Anyway, this person that was installed, he's worked in high government positions. You know what? I don't even want to say the positions, just because I just can't take the chance that this video would be seen and I would be able to be identified. Suffice to say, security positions within state and federal governments in high-profile cases that have been nationally seen on television. And I can't say any more than that. I don't even know the guy personally, but what he's doing is wrong. But there's no reasoning with him. He doesn't care what anyone else thinks. He's going to do it his way, no matter who it hurts or whether it makes any kind of sense. The other thing I wanted to report related to this is that on the basis of what's going on around me, I just thought I'd let you guys in on something that may or may not have any real significance. I am not one given to conspiracies. Generally, they're worldview issues, and you to put that in context of human nature, and you can usually figure most things out. But what I'm seeing is states have been, we've been this kick the can down the road mentality that states and the federal government have been pursuing over the last 2 years is about to come to an end. It'll come to an end sooner for some than others, but in either case, it's coming to an end. As a result, funding for basic things like police is going to be put in jeopardy. But I think they know the ultimate where this is going to end up if their plans don't work. If things go awry and they are unable to reinflate another bubble, and they have shot all the bullets and they're left with nothing, I think they know exactly what will follow. And I think they want to maintain preparedness for that. And what I'm seeing as a result is I'm seeing them surreptitiously use things like education funding to get more police officers per square mile. So, for example, if you're in, let me pick a different state. If you're in Kansas, you might notice local colleges and universities who previously maybe they didn't have police or they had a small number of police. They're arming up. They are hiring entire police forces when in an economic crisis when they can ill afford it. They're changing from no security to police. And they're not. We're not even talking about armed security. We're talking about changing from no security or security to police. So they didn't go from unarmed to armed, which you would think would be the natural progression. They went straight to police, and it's not, a couple of officers. It's an entire police force. So 20, 30, 40 people for places that don't need or require them. It's very, very strange. I've never seen anything like it. The number of covenants and alliances that are being created between, these new police forces and the existing police forces of local towns and cities. It's just incredible, and it's fascinating. I wonder to what degree this is really being coordinated at a higher level. That's not a conspiracy. That's just I think they just know where this may end up. And if they can't fund it from their regular state budgets, they'll use excess educational funds to do so. Certainly colleges and universities, they can afford to raise tuition rates. They get government subsidy already. They can afford to freeze hiring in some areas and start hiring in others. But I just thought I'd let you know some of the things that are going on with me and around the area in the Midwest. These are, from my perspective, disturbing developments. I'd like to know what you all think. All I would say is continue to prepare. For those of you who think that those who aren't doing videos anymore, like myself, are losing their the strength of their convictions, you couldn't be more wrong. I've never been more convinced that we are living in perilous times, and we are fast topping a hill that's going to lead us straight to disaster. I just haven't had the time, to be honest. I'll be doing another video soon. I have a correction to make on a silver video that I made before. But, I would just suggest sticking close to those you care about, preparing, pray for one another. This is going to be difficult, and no one really knows what precisely will happen in the future or how it will precisely play out, but I can say in my own circumstance, things are far less certain. There's a lot more insecurity in my environment than there was before. And I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do about that. I don't have a lot of viable options at this point. All I have are possibilities, and none of those look particularly promising. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. People have gone through this for many, many years, and in far less supportive circumstances than I find myself in. So, we're just going to roll with the punches and see what life deals us. I am a Christian, so ultimately I believe that God is in control of this circumstance, and given that, I need not be afraid. All right, take care, guys.